Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense. Therapy is stupid is the headline of this video, and if you're gonna respond to the headline to the video without listening to what I'm actually about to tell you, you're just gonna end up proving the headline right, that clearly therapy hasn't made you any smarter. Okay, I'm gonna make a point about how in this modern society we use our intellect way too much, we put our trust in authorities external to ourselves way too much, and we need to come back to using our uncommon sense, okay? That's what I preach on this channel. The method, the approach to life, my philosophy is uncommon sense, and that is what I'm trying to teach you. And it's really a huge aspect of it is thinking for yourself, because we become so bad at that in this society. So I'm going to make some points about therapy, but go on to make some more points. So just stick with me here and see if you understand what I mean. So this thought came to me now. I think about this a lot, but this is the entry point kind of that, you know, I put out the last video before this one was about letting go of a past relationship, let go of the woman you love, which was triggered by a guy asking me about, like, how do I let go? And when I shared a response first and my just response in text before doing the video, some guys were like, you know, this guy might need therapy, you know, and I get into this discussion about whether someone that has studied to be a therapist or me is the right person to give advice in this. And I get frustrated at this point, not so much about my personal credibility or something, or that I feel like, you're not giving me credit. It's just frustrating that people really think so much like this. Oh, he should do therapy. It's like, there's a reason a guy like that came to me, you know, because he can see that this guy has been through enough. I resonate with this guy. I think this guy knows. He has been in my shoes. He knows what to do, you know. And it's like, that's the point, that I'm not invalidating therapy as a concept. It's just, to me, it frustrates me when I see that here's someone that doesn't get the point. You're like missing that. It's like, oh, well, this bro here on YouTube, yeah, he can share some good advice about something, but maybe this guy needs therapy also. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, okay? The thing is, about let me tell you an example of something that's not therapy, just to tell you so you understand. Recently, a job I applied for some years ago when, you know, YouTube was going slow, I didn't have the same cash flow and things, so I was considering taking other jobs, but still within training, right? So this place, there is actually better terms than it is for most PTs working in commercial gyms. Like, the terms are just terrible, horrendous most of the time, really, here in Sweden. But here, you actually had like a guaranteed salary, not just you have to get clients, work for free to get clients, you just get paid for that. So a bit of a better PT job when you're going to be employed like that. But I ended up not starting working there because things like really took off with my own thing. But because they had me in the system, when they were looking for someone new, they reached out. And just out of kind of curiosity, I have too much, I can't really work at a place like that. But, you know, I responded, I just wanted to kind of come see, maybe go on an interview just so I can turn the job down, right? But so she asks me about me. She's like, also, do you have any other education, formal education than the PT stuff? And then I told her exactly what it's like, this person in email, that, you know, I have the PT education, but I've like got all in on this, you know, the way you can study things on YouTube these days, you know, and I've worked on myself and others. I've done this with fasting, this with diet, you know, so it's really, what I do have is not, you know, a paper that says that I know things. I actually have real life experience working on myself and with other people on this. And I get a response, something like, oh, it does sound like you have a lot of experience for this, you know, vacancy. That's like a health coach sort of thing. I'm looking for someone with an education like blah 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 blah. You know. So, but I'm looking for that. But I refer you to my colleague if you want to for another place. And at that point, I'm just like, I do not want to work with anyone that thinks in this stupid fucking way. Because when I studied to be a personal trainer, you know, that was a necessary evil, right? I had already learned through training myself and YouTube, the resource of internet, pretty much everything we went over in this education I knew already, except like the Latin names for muscle groups. It's like, which serves a purpose, but it's so stupid again. The theory, the names of things, not the actual real thing, being able to train someone to good results. The focus is so stupid. But let me tell you that I went with a lot of people that pass this education that are absolutely horrendous trainers, have no idea what they're doing, because they couldn't train to begin with, they're just not good at it, they're not interested enough at it, they just studied now and passed the exam with it, or they managed to take someone through a workout on the practical exam that, I guess it passes, But in real life, they're not going to be able to train people properly. Not everyone that I went with, but there were clearly some people like this. And so you guys that see me here and what I do and how much I know about the specific thing of training and diet, fasting and nutrition, like, would you prefer someone that has just came out of nowhere and like, I'm going to be a health coach, and goes on an education like that. And now they have a paper that says, I'm a health coach, officially, certified. Would you pick that person over me that's done this for almost 7 years now with amazing results, and not just with myself? I have some good results to show up with some other people too. This is my point. I'm not against therapy or therapists as a concept, but it's so stupid to think just like that there's something magical about having studied to be a therapist, The therapist needs to, again, because this is what I also want to come to. I've studied therapy, I've studied psychology online. It's like people have this it's so stuck in the matrix sort of mindset that, no, studying to be something, that's specifically when you go to a school and you study for the test and you listen to the lectures and you write the exam and you pass it that way. That's the thing that studying is. No, studying is actually fucking learning something, both theory, but that does not have to happen in that old school way. Society has transferred, and this is the point of this kind of video. This is outdated, the system. It's not that it doesn't serve a purpose at all, but just thinking of it this way, that having gone to study to be a therapist or health coach or personal trainer, that's the thing that makes you that, No, I am, at once, I am a trainer, I'm a coach, I am a sort of therapist in a way, but I'm also a bro that can relate to you, right? It's like, use your fucking uncommon sense. The thing that helps you is the thing that helps you. The thing that works, the person that knows, the person that's good at doing the thing, that is the person that's good at doing the thing, no matter how they ended up in there. But so even then I want to make the point that it's not just about the experience of doing things. Someone like me has just listened to podcasts, read on Instagram, and I followed people that are psychologists and therapists, But what I want you to realize is it's still my real life experience with, when you take relationship stuff, it's with women. And then I find like these words when I look at the theory, like I say, following podcasts or whatever medium, right? And I get some language. I talk about the abandonment wound, attachment styles and stuff, but it's really based on my real life experience. And this just kind of gives me some better language to work on it, But yeah, you see, man, I get fired up, because it's a frustration that with the example there, I didn't even want that like health coach job, But the frustration of that, it's not that you're supposed to actually be good at the thing. You just need to show up the paper. I have the paper that says I'm smart. Don't have to actually be smart as long as I have the paper that says I'm smart. And so I want to tell you, to really show that I don't invalidate the concept of therapy, I sort of had a person in my life that it's not a secret who it is, that's been my sort of like a therapist. It's Eva that I had on the podcast, right? My Greek teacher turned like friend. We have a sort of sibling relationship, really. And she has some formal education with psychology, but it's not why I found great use for her as being sort of someone, a great catalyst for my introspective process, right? She asks me the right questions, she gives me the right reminders, but it's like her lived experience, and that she can relate to me, that we can have this, apart from her being a little, some sort of like, I'm the teacher, as it started out, learning the language, that she has the lived experience, has overcome shit herself, and she can be like an equal to me, She's not just someone that like, just read these things, and like, how does that make you feel? It's... Do you get my point, guys? It's like, if you found a therapist that like can do the work, help you evolve, like, great. But the point here is that it's not that it has to be someone that studied to be a therapist and has the paper that says they are the therapist. Doesn't have to be that at all. It's like with a personal trainer. Do you know why I'm so skeptical to these things? Is that I see how many that have the official title, that have the license or diploma, that are terrible at what they do. When it comes to personal trainers, most of them are just not good. Most of the time, you'd be better off just asking the jacked gym bro for advice. Sometimes the jacked gym bro also works as a trainer, but many times it's just the guy that figured it out. He's gonna, even if he didn't know all the Latin words on muscles and joints and shit, he's gonna be able to help you get better results. There's some more point I wanted in here. Yeah, what I wanted to tell you is that because I had a troubled upbringing, I officially have ADHD. I have the ADHD diploma, right? That's what matters for your personality, right? You have to be put in this box. But so I was sent around to different therapists and like whatever titles they have, psychologist, psychiatrist, and so many times, these people that had a formal education but no real experience with being a person like me, they could be like nice, they could talk about things, but none of them knew shit. They couldn't understand me or help me in any way. What it just becomes is what therapy is for a lot of people, like this little place when it just feels good to sit and be a little victim, like, yeah, this is tough for me, yeah. Mm-hmm. At the same time, also this thing when so many times it's not about making me understand myself so I can like empathize with myself and find better strategies to go about life. It's more like, let's come up with these strategies to force you to be like everyone else. Now, of course, I'm crossing into a kind of specific thing when you're a kid that's like different from the norm in a sense what kind of happens then, but still. It's both that thing, that it's just a bunch of whining, and it can seem like it's a good thing because it feels good, but it's not always what feels good actually is good, But then that other thing, that it's not helping me thrive being who I'm supposed to be. It's like, how do we change Theo into some fucking imitation of supposedly the right way to be, It's ridiculous. So, this is again, guys, like, because so many of you are going to confuse it that I'm just butthurt. It's like, oh, but Theo, you don't know everything. I know very well that I know everything, idiot. That's the point. So, the point is just that it's not just about me. Like, sometimes whoever is able to help you is able to help you. A guy I would take, for instance, as an example, natural hypertrophy, that I had on the podcast and that many of you guys will follow also. That guy is also someone that would be, for many of you, would be much better than anyone with a paper that says they're a therapist or a psychologist. For some of you, a guy like that, you might be able to relate to his stories and the specific things he went through more, so you might be able to get better help from him. But someone might relate more to my experiences, what I've been through, and then I'm going to be able to help them more. But the point is, guys, some of us that have gone through things, we have lots of lived experience with working on ourselves and overcoming problems and finding some great solutions. We're gonna have touched on so many things that relate to so many people that I work with all kinds of people, I just trained a 70-year-old guy, right? I trained his wife too. Like, I've trained younger people than me, my age. Of course, most of the time, it's going to end up being that you help most people that are closest to you. Most of my clients are around my age men, right? But the point is, whoever can help you, can help you. And the more developed, the more a person has worked on themselves holistically, the better they're going to be able to help you. Because guess what, guys? What happens to people that went through a really tough childhood and managed to overcome it is that we were forced to find out certain things that some people have just had a comfortable enough life to really not have to figure out. That I might have had bigger problems with certain things, but because I've had to find them, I can see where, they have kind of the same thing as me, just less. It's just more hidden to them, And I could go on ranting so much about this, all of this. But in the end, what I want you to know here is not that I'm the best to know everything always, It's that use your fucking uncommon sense. Don't just outsource your thinking. Don't think that just because someone has the title for something, that means anything at all, really. If you cannot see, you gotta have to... Can this person actually relate to me? Do they understand me? Do they help me understand myself? Via this person, is that actually the way forward? Or am I just looking at the fucking degree and it's like, oh, it says therapist here, so I guess this is the person for the job? ridiculous, okay? Please like and comment, guys. I'm sure there will be an interesting discussion about this. Don't feel like called out if you're one of the guys. It's just my entry point. I get it. I get where you're coming from. But yeah, I do holistic bodybuilding coaching, jacked and stacked, mentally, physically, spiritually, working on ourselves, body, mind, and soul. I am your bodybuilding coach. I am your therapist. I am your bro. Okay, that's a trinity there. So if you're interested, you can send a DM on Instagram or email me. It's in the description below. I'll tell you about my different programs. The elite program would be the more holistic therapist program, if you will, for those that want to. You pick up my training book. That one is more about the training. Now it's got starting to be the mindset and more holistic book. I'm starting to think about it now, but this is the training book. Everything philosophy, mindset, training related you need in order to become a self-reliant, jacked and stacked individual. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. Think for yourself. Use your uncommon sense. Peace.